Hey y'all. I'm not expecting too many of you to be in the room just yet because this is super just off schedule. But I did not want to miss out on giving you guys a recap and review for both season 8, episode 2, Home Sweet Drama, and episode 3, Heaven is a Place in Potomac. And I don't know if I believe that, but we're just going to go with it for now, for all intents and purposes. And as always, I am Barb Meets World. Go ahead and hit that like button on your way in. Don't forget to subscribe as well. All of my social media accounts were going to be scrolling at the bottom there, as well as they will be listed in the description box below. So go ahead and check that out. Shout outs to the replay gang. Let's keep the comments going afterward. And yeah, let's get into it, shall we? I do not plan on being up here for that long though, you guys. I will say I wanted to be on screen, but I just am not feeling that great. And again, we're going to be hitting some highlights for episode 2 real quick because I don't want to just skip that one. I was traveling last week and I did not get a chance to do my reviews for both Married to Medicine and The Real Housewives of Potomac. So I wanted to definitely hit on some key points before we unpack everything that happened in last night's episode. So as far as episode 2, Home Sweet Drama, y'all, Ashley and her mom, I don't know. I don't know if her mom was trolling or not, but I get the gist. I get the idea that her mom actually kind of likes Candace, and she probably sees that her daughter can be a little much at times and a little messy at times. So I definitely picked up on that. Karen and Mia, they had finally met up, and I cannot knock Karen for wanting to do the warm handshake. I can't knock her at all because being in my presence is a present. So therefore, if we're not really vibing at that moment in time like that, then I don't see why you need to be in my physical space like that. I don't really see why you need to be all up in my mix like that, until we get back in good graces. Like, I no. But shout outs to Karen for even seeing and hearing Mia out. And I only think she did that because Karen sees it fit that she plays her role in this ensemble cast. She knows what is expected of her in this ensemble cast, and she delivers. And sometimes that means that you have to make amends with certain people to kind of move forward and move the show along. That's just what I get from Karen, and that is why she is my favorite on this particular show. Hey Princess, how are you doing today on this fine Monday? I hope it was a good one for you. Oh, go away notification. But yeah, y'all, that's kind of how I felt about them meeting up, and also Mia trying to blame her throwing the drink on Wendy, or attempting to, I should say, because if you guys saw that last season, you'll know that it actually didn't even land. Like, come on now. Ugh, Mia. But she attributes it to her mixing her alcohol with her medication. I don't buy that. I think that was a cop-out, and I think that she was very, very purposeful in doing that with Karen. I think she's very, very purposeful about how she brought that up with Karen, because she knows that Karen is not going to be cool, just cool on that type of thing. That's just kind of how Karen is. So I think that she purposely brought that up as well. Great. Had the day off, did some business, did some laundry, now doing some homework. Oh, I know how that goes. Oh my goodness. I'm on break right now. Thank God, because I'm so over school. So trust me, I get it. Oof. Juan and Robyn. This man flat out said he doesn't care. He flat out said he doesn't really care that people think whatever they want to think of him. He doesn't really care that we think that he's a liar. He doesn't really care how he's painted to her. He don't care. And I think that she just needs to wake up and realize that when he says he doesn't care, he also means he doesn't care about you and y'all's relationship, because we can see that based on his actions. Robyn, like, we're all telling you the same thing, Robyn. Like, I'm not about to keep doing this for her. I'm not going to ever, again, I'm not going to get all up in arms about it, because clearly she has painted her line in the sand, and she's okay with being just made to look like a fool every season she comes on here. So why should we care, y'all? We shouldn't. Hey, Janet, how are you doing? Happy Monday. Thank you for coming through. Aneka and Ike, I think is her husband's name. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. We were finally formally introduced to her in last week's episode. Right off the bat, I'm gonna tell you that I really, really liked her husband's energy. He seems like he's gonna be really funny to be around, and all that good stuff. Her on the other hand, though, I still feel the same way I felt in the beginning. They just bought a new house. Good for them. He's a doctor and a club owner. Like I said, he does seem funny. Her foundation was sending me. It's way too yellow. I'm gonna need her to neutralize that down just a bit. But anyway, it's already been filmed, so we just have to live with it, right? She starts her day with bubbles and ends her day with bubbles. I don't really, I don't have kids, y'all, so I don't know if that's like conducive to trying to conceive, but it just, from my little bit of knowledge, I feel like it's not. So I don't really understand why she's mixing those things, but whatever, I don't care. That's her life at the end of the day. But again, y'all, I still feel the same way about her that I did. I don't know. She just, I feel like we wouldn't really vibe together in real life. Just based off of the little tidbits that we have gotten of her, but it is what it is. I mean, I don't have to be in her spaceship. I'll be mine. So what do I know? Ashley's housewarming was very cute. She made it very, very nice. It was a nice spread. I saw those little lobster rolls. I wanted some. But anyway, actually, I think before that we had the Pilates with Karen, Ashley, Mia, and Gizelle, and Ashley's new boobs, I should say. Nothing really with that scene, nothing much except for Gizelle asking Karen if she's going to apologize to Robyn. And I'm like, okay, maybe that'll happen, Gizelle, once, I don't know, once you apologize to Candace and Chris, maybe. Can we see that going first? Can we get that going or no? No? Oh, okay. So no, if I was Karen, I would have snapped my neck around so fast. Like, who you want me to do what? Like, no, ma'am. No, can't do. Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, I'm sorry. Can't do it. Not today. That would have been my reaction, because you got to be right out your rabbit ass mind if you think that I'm going to give someone an apology when that person has been, every single time something has came up with me, I've been down, she's exploited. Pizza, tax issues, like she's exploited it with your help, Gizelle, might I add, for pretty much all those times. So no, I'm not going to extend an apology right off the bat, but I, knowing how Girl Mom is, knew that at the same time we probably were going to see an apology or like some type of meeting the two, again, for the reasons that I said in the beginning, just a betterment of the show. I knew that was going to happen, but again, if it was me, I would have. What did you say, Gizelle? Watch your mouth. I would have been so thrown off. I would probably laughed in her face. To be honest with you, I probably would have laughed in her face because you can't be serious. You can't be serious. What? No, absolutely not. At the housewarming, Gizelle moving out of Wendy's way when that was not even going to be a conflict or an issue. I feel like she just, when people do stuff like that, they just only make themselves look stupid. So again, bye, Gizelle. Goodbye. Anything else I want to highlight? Deborah, why is she here? Still hated Declan's foundation. Ashley made mention of having to feed the children more on her own now. Ashley, we know very, very well that you were the main provider for those children on a day-to-day basis when you were still living with Michael. So I don't even know why you even said that or trying to pitch that to us, because we're not believing that either. At least I'm not. Michael never really presented himself to be somebody who I feel like was really there all day, every day, making lunches, making triangle peanut butter sandwiches, changing diaper. Like, he just didn't ever strike me as that type of person. So again, don't try to give that to us. Okay, thank you. I did see a couple people saying some things about Ashley having her boys share a room. I don't really feel like that's weird at all, especially given their age. I'm assuming once they get to be a little bit older and their interests kind of differ, that she's obviously going to put one in another one of the rooms. But I don't think at this age that's really weird at all. Especially me and my sister, we shared a room. We shared a room until I was like in 5th grade. How old are you in 5th grade? 12, 10? I don't know. Whatever age I was in 5th grade. Me and my sister shared a room, and she is 4 years older than me. So you guys do the math. We shared a room until, I was up until 5th grade, which means that she was probably going into, she's probably going into high school by that point. So again, I don't feel like that's weird, but whatever. 10, 11. Okay. Yeah. Thank you. Yeah. They're a little afraid of the dark and whatnot. Yeah. So I don't really understand why some people were saying that. I saw it like mostly on Twitter and stuff. It's just, people will try to insert their scrutiny wherever they can. So whatever. She feels like Wendy is so congratulatory toward Ashley. She feels like she makes her feel like she matters. And I'm like, Wendy, you're still not like seeing with the right eyes this season. You're still missing the point this season. They being the Gizelles, the Mias, the freaking Robyns, and unfortunately the Ashleys don't ever really truly mean you any well on the show. And if you have not seen this, was this your 3rd, 4th season by now or whatever? Like, if you don't see that by now, girl, you never will. Like, because Ashley just further proved my point in literally the next sentence. I think is when she brought up the whole Aneka thing. So clearly she doesn't really think you matter if she's going to try to bring mess to your doorstep. Like, come on now. And Aneka, like, really threw me off too. And I kind of already seen where we were going with this whole thing when I freaking was like, oh, wow. Yeah, that I see where this is going. Once she was introduced on behalf of Ashley, on these shows, there always needs to be some type of quote unquote organic link to the group. Like when new ladies are introduced and stuff like that, they have to be roped in through somebody else, otherwise it's going to seem displaced. And I'm saying that again with air quotes right now, y'all, because we've seen in the past that these ladies don't be really knowing each other all the time. Like, it's just for fronts and facades, really, if you ask me. But once she was introduced as Ashley's friend, I knew what type of time she was on. And y'all, if you've been watching for the past 8 seasons, you know what type of time Ashley was going to be on with that one too. Come on now. But if that didn't tell me everything I needed to know, I damn sure knew everything I needed to know once she said that they could just call her whatever. No, what? Huh? Coming from somebody whose name is often mispronounced, like on pretty much on a daily basis at this point. It's, whew. But I'm not going to just tell somebody, oh yeah, just call me whatever. And I'm just answer like, what? Like, okay, that's how you get people calling you really, really derogatory things. Or just if somebody thinks that you matter, since we're using that word today so much, they're going to go the extra length to try to pronounce your name correctly. So that was giving, just call me whatever you want, was giving, I don't care, I'm just happy to be here by any means necessary, and very, very pick me. But maybe I'm being extra, but that's just how I felt. And then that episode concluded with Ashley telling Wendy what Aneka said about her family being Osu. And moving right along to episode 3, that is where we pick right up. And I really, really don't like how this whole thing came about. And at first I wanted to just pin it on Ashley, but it seemed like Aneka had an agenda coming in the door, if you ask me, y'all. And we'll get a little bit more into that towards the end. But I think that she had a game plan when she came up in there. Yes, see, my Gemini sis, she feels me. She feels me. It's so annoying. It's so annoying. It's so annoying because honestly, I don't even think my name is that hard to pronounce. I don't think your name is that hard to pronounce either. But whatever, like, people are just going to continue to butcher it because they can't read, is what I'm convinced at this point. I don't get it. So I watched DJ Richie Sky, shout out to him. I watched his review this morning when I was doing some work on the computer or whatever, and which I usually don't do. I usually try not to watch anybody's until I put my videos up, because I just try not to. But I did, and he brought up a really, really great point. Robyn, if you don't care, then the things that people are saying about you shouldn't be bothering you. And I couldn't have said that better myself, because at the end of the day, a hit dog's on holler, and if something is not bothering me, I'm not even going to have a response to people talking about it. That's between them and the person in the mirror at the end of the day. Why would I be in such an uproar if A, the thing isn't true, and B, I said I don't care? When I say I don't care, maybe in 2023 people have a skewed idea of what the I don't care all entails and what that looks like. But I'm gonna just say this: the Barb, I don't care, and the Robyn Dixon, I don't care. 2 different types of I don't care, y'all. 2 different types, because this ain't it. Whew. But again, we pick up right where we left off in episode 2 at Ashley's housewarming with Wendy and Ashley still having the conversation on the couch. Wendy's still trying to explain to her what Osu is, and basically it's not good. You don't want to be associated with that at all. And she's like, Ashley, if that's the case, if my family were that, then all of the women you saw at the party and stuff, like, they wouldn't have been in attendance. Like, no, that's not the case at all. Hey, cousin. Hey. That young gentleman named Rob is very, very bothered. So And very bothered doesn't equate to I don't care last time I checked. So again, your slip is showing. Like, come on now. That's because our cutoff game, oh my God. It actually frightens me sometimes how good my cutoff game is. Like, shout out to the Geminis in the building, but my cutoff game is I shock myself, y'all. Like, I shock myself. Like, so maybe I need to slide in Robyn's DMs and teach her a thing or two about what I don't caring really, 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 really entails, because ma'am, this is not it. This is not it. What are you doing? Like, stop. Just stop. And I seen in next week's little trailer or whatever, Dixon, he really has time. Like, he really has some time, y'all. We've seen this man in every episode so far, right? And we're about to see him we really about to see him amongst the group, like the whole group next week, because I want to say next week is the first time that we'll get a full thanks to Karen, thanks to Grand Dame, because you know that she's good with everybody. She's the only one on the cast who is good with everybody, right? Yep. She is going to be she's going to be corralling everybody together, and we're going to get our first full cast whatever meetup, and it looks to me like Dixon's going to be in the building for that. So I'm like, he really do got time. I mean, when you get, fired or whatever, y'all know the rest. Anyway, y'all also drop your links. Make sure that anybody who is watching this, anybody who's in the bushes, anybody who's watching this back, whatever, make sure you drop your links and everything, so you guys can go ahead and subscribe to the House of the Princess and to Ranting with Ricardo, my family's channels, because they both make some great content as well. Back outside, Robyn was trying to tell the ladies, I guess, about the intervention, and she wasn't, everything they were saying, we actually saw it in real time, literally going out of one of Robyn's ears and into and out the other. So that's basically what she was translating to the rest of the ladies, saying how she isn't running from anything, and she's correct. She's not running from anything. Like I said before, she actually nonchalantly turns around. Like, she's not even running from the stuff. She's just turning around and shrugging her shoulders up and saying like, I don't care. It's just a pylon. Everybody's attacking me. Y'all stole my joy. Because at the end of the day, Robyn, if you didn't care, if you were really someone who did not care, you wouldn't have even said anything. You wouldn't even try to put it behind a paywall last year, whatever. You wouldn't have addressed it at all. You would just let sleeping dogs lie. That's what you would have did. But you didn't do that. You didn't do that at all. So again, you're not running. You're just turning around and shrugging your shoulders up and throwing your head in the air and being woe is me. That's you. That's you. She also highlights how Gizelle said he something along the lines of Juan shouldn't be around his coworker and friend. And I think that is very, very true. Like you had said, the block was hot and he still thinks that he's just going to walk around. Y'all, and I hate to admit this because trust me, I don't really care about these people like that. I don't, especially the Robyns. But I have to be, I have to be objective and I have to talk facts. So I will say that they are not just your average Joe on the street. They, have a certain status about themselves because they are on the show, right? Okay. Therefore, you kind of have to play the game. You do. Unfortunately, when you are a public figure, there's just certain things that you're going to have to do differently. In this case, you're someone who likes to be private and stuff like that. Your stuff is going to be put on Front Street. And unfortunately, you're going to have to respond sometimes, or you're going to have to at times alter how you go about things that you wouldn't ordinarily do if you, again, were just the average Joe and you didn't have like a following or hundreds of thousands of people watching you from all over the world and stuff like that, and watching your every move and looking for any fractures in y'all's situation. That's just the world y'all live in. Therefore, no, you should have altered what you were doing a little bit. You should have told her, hey, maybe I can't accompany you to do this thing or the other thing or whatever. Again, this is going off of the basic framework that we have gotten of this situation. No, the block was hot, like you said. He should have lied low. He did not, because he doesn't care about you, like I said before. Like, period. Me even having to break that down is just weird to me, because I don't see how she doesn't understand that. But whatever. He doesn't prioritize the health of y'all's marriage or your feelings at all when he's moving. Like, oh well, sorry, you wouldn't have got to hang out with her that day. Oh well. Moving on. It wouldn't have been the end of the world. Especially because this is a situation that you created, because the whole Canada girl thing, and because you've cheated in the past, and because of X, Y, and Z, you're going to look at it a certain way, and it is what it is. You shouldn't have did those things. You shouldn't have made that bed. Now you have to lie in it. So, oh well, you shouldn't have went out with her. Like, I don't know how else to say it. Then Gizelle was it Gizelle or was it Robyn? I don't remember. I think it was Gizelle who brings up the whole Karen needing to apologize again and thing with Robyn and all that, whatever. So they go and have their own one-on-one conversation, and Karen pretty much vows to only repeat facts about her and not rumors. I'm like, okay, that's easier said than done. We'll see how long that lasts. And all she wants to know in the end is, is this marriage traditional or is it open? And Robyn says, no, it's traditional. Okay. So she also wants to know, B, is it legal? And she's like, oh yeah, it's legal as well. So they'll, if you guys watched the like clips that were circulating around last week or so about the BravoCon, how Karen was very, very much getting Robyn together in front of the whole everybody. And it was so funny and so satisfying for people like me. Then you will know that, I mean, I don't think that they're necessarily on bad terms again, but clearly these are just two people that are not going to ever be fully friends. They basically just put their differences aside. And I say differences because neither of them can agree on who started the whole matter. Again, if you ask me, I feel like it was Robyn, but she obviously disagrees with that. Then they're never going to be besties or anything like that, but they're able to be both on the show and do what needs to be done. So they like it. I love it. Wendy also shares outside with the ladies how she's going to be doing her own talk show, which I didn't watch the episode. It actually came out today. So go check out Wendy's newest first episode of her new show. That's awesome. But she tells the ladies that that's what she's about to do. And I'm just like, I don't even like, I get we're on a show. Obviously you have to divulge certain things about yourself, of course. And a lot of times you don't even be talking to the people around you. You could be trying to translate those messages to the audience. But I just want her to not even, I just didn't even want her to say that in front of them. I don't even want them to know nothing. Like, they don't care about you or anything like that. And I just feel like you can't trust them at all. And I don't know, like, you just shouldn't divulge things in front of certain people who don't care about you at all and would actually like to see you go down in flames. I just don't practice that. I'd rather keep things to myself then, if that's the case. If I'm amongst people that would literally love to see me fall on my face. Nope. But she lets them know that it's going to be centering around more controversial topics that she can't speak on the other larger like national networks and stuff. So I was like, okay, that's a really, really good idea. And basically, if you aren't an intellectual who appreciates more knowledge-based conversation, then it's going to go over your head. I'm like, I mean, I'll be in the building. Like I'm not dense, I like to think. So sign me up. I'm cool with that. But you know who wasn't cool with that? Mia. Mia had an issue with that. And Sharice tries to call like shade, or she tries to say that the whole reasoning behind the show and stuff like that, she tries to just say that it was shady or whatever. So then Mia chimes in, and she sounded rather butthurt, y'all. She sounded very much like she was in her feelings, at least to me. But Wendy attributes her viewpoint on the matter between her and Mia to them having settled things in New York at the reunion or whatever. They were supposed to have squashed everything, right? That didn't last very long, because then Mia took to social media to then start to attack Wendy. So at that point, no holds barred for me either. And you're talking about, women's empowerment and like not being uplifted. Why would I uplift somebody who, like Wendy said, threw a drink on me? Why would I try to uplift somebody who every time I've tried to make amends or try to be, if I'm keeping it 1,000 with you, and every time I turn around you're only giving me 2% back, or trying to join up forces with the people that I said before would love to see me fall on my face, then no, why would I? Then why would I try to uplift you? And you've also proven that you are actually a little bit dense. You couldn't get your math together the first season when you were introduced about your age. You're always getting caught in lies. You're always getting caught putting your foot in your mouth. So no, you kind of, I don't really think this is for you. I think you need to sit this one out. Yeah, okay. And the whole you get a chance to beat someone down, you beat them down every time, or whatever Mia said along those lines. For me, y'all, I'm not gonna lie, that was giving very much Marlo for me. You know how Marlo always tries to tell the other ladies, like, or tell Candy, I should say, or Kenya, or whoever, like, oh, no one's her village, or oh, like, she don't be having nobody, or no one tried to extend her any type of assistance with this, that, and the other thing, or expunging her record or whatever. All those things that she tries to, throw in people's faces after she already burned them, after she already dropped it down really, really low to the depths of hell. Like, every single time she does that, but then turns around and, for lack of a better words, bites the hand that's trying to feed her in those situations, bites the person that can open the door for them to get in that space, or to receive those types of resources. You slap them in the face every time. Mia in this moment was giving that as well. You're expecting an invitation, or you're expecting niceties from a person who you threw a drink on, who you tried to attack online, who you like came for on all these occasions. Like, how can you ever look somebody in their eyes with a straight face and really expect them to be some type of a friend, an acquaintance, anything to you? That's insanity to me, y'all. Mia is insane. Clearly. Like, that was just so crazy to me that you could really sit here and come out your face and just bypass all the things that you did towards that person in previous seasons. Get out of here with that. And Wendy didn't really appreciate that either, clearly, because she's like, no, I can't uplift you. I can't do anything for you because you are slow and low down. I don't think that she was trying to be super malicious or anything like that. She truly probably thinks that that's how she is, because honestly, that's how a lot of us probably think of Mia too. I don't even care. Like, she hasn't proven to be a really great person, like, at all. Nneka and Robyn then break away for a moment, and Robyn is still trying to call things a pylon, like I said before, which is just also insane to me. When freaking Deborah poked her head in the camera and said hi to Robyn or whatever, and they played that horror movie music, that Bad Omen music in the background, when I tell y'all, I screamed. And again, Deborah needs to know that she's not even brought around at this point because they see it for her, or because she's going to be receiving her freaking cherry blossom or whatever. Like, she's not going to be getting any of that, clearly, based on the fact that they played such horrible music when she popped her head in the screen. But I thought that was really, really funny that production did that. And we clearly see that Robyn and Nneka are going to be joining forces, or at least going to be meeting for a cocky, as Nneka said, which I was like, why did you know what? I'm just going to leave that there. Whatever. And when all the ladies go back inside, Wendy invites Ashley to her kids' first communion, which I didn't see an issue with. Y'all, please let me know if you think that that was bad on Wendy's part. I don't feel like that was weird at all, seeing as though, again, you guys have proven to not be my friends. So why would I want you in attendance for something that's so precious and so special for my children? And yeah, Robyn, I mean, you're smart enough to deduce that, yeah, this could have been because the whole failure of a family fun day event that you had last year. Yeah, that whole thing where you purposely left Wendy out only to then tell Candace that she could bring Wendy's kids, because somebody in their right mind would ever allow that to happen. Like, what? Idiot. I don't necessarily think that Wendy did it like and went back in her mind like, yeah, I did it for that time that you did that. More so, I think that she did it, again, based on the whole overall state that they're in currently. They're not cool like that. So no, I don't want you to come. Like, well, duh. I don't see anything wrong with that at all, because they have ignored her to her face before. They have invited each other to things in front of her before. The group is currently divided. So yeah, I would act like you're not there either. You're not about to come and turn my kids' first communion upside down. Are you crazy? And you probably wouldn't even show up anyway. So like, why are we even having this conversation? You know, we're not even vibing like that right now. Stop. Like, people can't play with me like this. I would lose my mind. And then that was it for that scene. Candace is doing a 9 city tour, which shout outs to her for that. That is awesome. Juan and Robyn, don't care about them. Gizelle and Grace shopping. We got a cute little scene with them. They were shopping for, they're just doing some shopping. Grace is about to go off to college soon. And Gizelle also brings up that Jamal is going to be there for Grace's, seeing her off to prom or whatever. And I didn't really care, because and if I was Grace too, I mean, I'm not saying they should have a bad relationship with their dad, whatever, that's their dad. I can't tell them how to feel. And I'm not in the household with them. Did I grow up with them to know the intricacies of their father-daughter relationship? No, I don't. But just based off the fact that we never see this man around and whatever, I would be like, I don't care. He could have an issue. He could have an issue with how my prom dress looks, but I don't really care because he don't even be here on a daily basis. So I wouldn't care. Whatever. Over at Wendy's, her and Eddie are doing a dress rehearsal, like with the kids for the whole communion ceremony and everything, which I was like, that was very, very brave of her to have them do a dress rehearsal and all that white. Ooh, they must be super well behaved, because I would be, oh my God, I would be so scared that they was going to get something on themselves and that was just going to be that. But they didn't, and they did their run through. Wendy, I do like seeing these clips of Wendy and Eddie. I like seeing them interact. I like their relationship, their bond and everything. Their family is super cute, and I think we need to see way more of that. You know what I also noticed too, y'all? On this particular cast, nobody ever really does anything in their homes. And I'm assuming, again, being as though my husband is from DC, I always ask him whenever they say these different places and stuff like that. Like a couple of them, like North Bethesda, I know where that is, and I know where a couple of the other places are, obviously, but I always ask him when they say certain stuff, and I'm assuming, obviously, they're never in each other's houses or hosting things at their house. We've seen Candace host, was that her old house though? I think we've seen her host at her old house, and they'll pop in on each other sometimes at their houses. But I just feel like on some of the other shows, they just like actually host things for real more at their homes. But again, that could be because A, they're not really friends like that, and B, because they all live far AF from one another. I think no, Wendy definitely lives far away, and this one lives all the way over here, and this one lives over here. No one even really lives in Potomac like that for real, except for like one or two of them. So, but I just thought that was interesting. Going back to the scene, afterward, Wendy tells Eddie about meeting Aneka and what Ashley told her. He said exactly what I would have said though, y'all. Based off that information alone, I would have been weary of cultivating a friendship with her. And again, that's not because we got to also think, who said this? Ashley, Maxi's person on the show, if you ask me, which makes her also very, very good as a housewife, if you ask me as well. I would just be very, very weary of playing her too close until I found out whether or not that was true. That's just me, though. Ooh. Next, we see Karen visiting Mia at her new tiny house. I mean, her new penthouse. That was so shady. But they finally share a hug, which I'm like, I could care less. I see Mia for who she is. You can't tell me any different. And was it just me, or during this scene did Karen, I don't know, Karen looks a little disheveled for me in this scene. I don't know why, but her makeup or whatever, she just didn't look as put together for me as she normally does. But moving right along, Mia also lets us know that they don't currently have a nanny, which I was like, is that because of the financial issues, or is that because you burn bridges with your old nanny? Inquiring minds would love to know. Anyway, as it pertains to Wendy being very selective with her invites, Karen thinks that it was a slight at Robyn, like I said before, about the whole last season failure of a family fun day thing. She thinks that it was a slight because of that. Again, I don't necessarily think that it was specifically that, just as much as it was based on the lack of a friendship that they have right now. But whatever. Mia then proceeds to draw a connection to Wendy, calling her slow to her son, who has an IEP and speech impediment or speechless. I don't feel like that was even, I don't even understand how we got there, y'all. I really, really don't. So please explain to me if y'all know, if y'all see something that I don't. But I think that it was a reach. I think that it was just something to kind of make herself out to be the victim. I feel like Mia is one of those people that just loves to be a victim. And last time I checked, she don't even care about being called names because, again, down at the Bravo Con, she was totally fine with being called to go there. So let's really sit here and not try to act like that's seriously how you felt. Like, goodbye. But Karen, and I feel like she said it to Karen because Karen low-key kind of ate it right up, I feel like. I low-key feel like, especially Karen being the only neutral person like in the group right now, Mia, again, was very, very purposeful about telling Karen that, I feel. But whatever. Candace and Wendy, they meet at this really, really cute place, which I was like, where is that place at? Because I want to go there next time I'm in that neck of the woods. We also meet another young lady named Kiarna. And I kept messing up her name because I keep wanting to say Kiana, but it's Kiarna. And she owns the med and wellness spa just a few doors down. I was like, okay, we love. In my next life, y'all, if y'all don't know, I am a licensed cosmetologist in 2 states. But in my next life, I would love to work in like a med spa and get like my like either be like a nurse practitioner and get my medical license so that I'm able to perform like Botox injections and different things that I can't do as just a cosmetologist. That's what I really, really would love to do. But at this point in time, I'm just like I have too much credentials and too many degrees and different things in other industries that's just not even, I'm not about to go back to school to do that like in this lifetime. So if you do that, just know that my heart is just, I just love it. I love it. I love it. So we met her and all three of them were serving, I must say. And I immediately could also tell that she was from Baltimore. Wendy tells them about Ashley telling her about the whole Aneka thing and the article and her basically saying that she just basically not, I don't want to say coming for her. Well, yeah, no, that's actually a really good choice of words. I would say coming for her. And I feel like both their faces were screwed up. One being screwed up, or should I say Candace's face being screwed up at the mere mention of Ashley. I feel like she's going to try to more so put it on Ashley. And then Kiarna's face was screwed up. Just, I think in general, like, that just don't sound like my type of chick, or that just sounds like some mess. And I want to say that Kiarna is the one that actually is going to get into it for real with Aneka, right? Yeah, I believe so. Based on what I saw, people were saying that's her. She is being extra. She's been called slow before. Yeah, she's been called every name of the book. So I don't know why she's trying to sit here and act bothered, other than to paint Wendy out to be the bad guy or to try to turn a certain demographic of people against her. And I think that's just so corny. Like, you can't get it. You can't get it with no true skill. You have to really sit here and try to grasp at straws and try to turn somebody's words against them. Goodbye. And then Candace also calls Ashley someone like coming from a place of being like a messy hoe. And again, like I said before, y'all, Ashley is just that. But that also is the key ingredients a lot of times for certain people. That is the key ingredient to being a great housewife. It really, really is. I always have to give credit where credit's due in that regard. Ashley is a very good housewife, and she definitely plays her role every single season. So I wasn't surprised to see that she is in the middle of this entire thing, that she's in the right smack dab in the middle of this. On one side, we got Aneka, and then one side, we have Wendy. That's just what Ashley does best. Karen and Ashley, they're supposed to go shopping for the communion. Karen immediately gets bitten by a bug in her face, which is something I feel like that would happen to me, and I would be feeling just the same way. So I am not judging her at all for that. Ashley's shopping for her new titties, which come from somebody who don't really like their feet. The cameraman ain't ish, y'all. The cameraman ain't ish for steadily zooming in on Ashley's bunions. I always talk about these things, and I was definitely one of those people that was like, oh, so you had time to be out of commission to let your freaking titties heal, but you didn't have time to freaking get those bunions taken care of. But she says, according to her, apparently it's like a 3-month recovery. I don't believe that, because I want to say one of my friends, when I was still on active duty, got a bunion removed, and she was back partying with us like the next week. So what? Anyway, Karen also wants to. Karen asks Ashley how she feels about being around Candace, and Ashley says Candace made it very clear that she doesn't want to speak to her. And I want to say that they even showed the text, but they're going to have to be amongst each other again, because they're both were invited to Wendy's kids' communion. So that's obviously why Karen was asking that. Karen also asks about the lawsuit, and Ashley gives pretty much the same answer that she gave to, was it Gizelle, or somebody else had asked her? Yeah, somebody else had asked her this, I want to say, in the first episode. And she can't divulge any information. So she says, or she doesn't know any information. So she says she doesn't ask Michael. It was her mom, right? She doesn't ask Michael about the lawsuit, and everything she finds out, she says, is from the blogs. So I guess that's just where we're going to have to, be with it. And also Candace is not saying anything either, which I definitely more so understand why Candace isn't. She's literally entrenched in the middle of this whole situation. So I understand for legal purposes why she can't say anything, or why I don't even want to. But that's all Ashley's giving us for right now. Karen also tells Ashley about Wendy calling Mia slow, and she laughs, because like I just said, she knows that Mia don't really give an F about being called it. She's just trying to prove a point. So it's just very, very befitting that, or coincidental, I should say, that you draw so much offense to this, and you again try to equate it to something with your son. Something to your son. Your son wasn't even there. Like, what are we even talking about? How did we get here? How did we get here? Ashley admits she may have stirred the pot in how she translated the message from Aneka to Wendy. And Karen also proves to be my favorite person on here, because she was like, girl, are you being messy? Because that's honestly where a lot of us who really, really watch this show with a magnifying glass, a lot of us can just easily pick up on the fact that, again, Ashley is super messy, and she's known for creating certain situations and for stirring stuff up. Therefore, it's not so far-fetched to think that you purposely told Wendy one thing to get her kind of started, and you were playing freaking puppet master, trying to orchestrate a whole bunch of stuff between these two ladies, which is really, really, really bittersweet, y'all, that it had to be like this too. But I feel like the whole issue between them, which we're going to finally get addressed next week, because I thought it was going to be this week, but it looks like it's going to be next week. We finally are going to jump into that. And it really, really sucks, seeing as though they should be acting like sisters, like family or whatever, given that they have the same cultural background and everything. They should be two peas in a pod. But because of how this whole thing went down, but because one person, I feel like, has an agenda coming into the situation, that's not what we're going to get. And it really, really is just so annoying. It's now the day of the communion. They did a great, great job. And we're at the after party. They, being the boys, they did a really good job. They didn't mess up. Nothing went awry. They did a really, really good job. And Karen, did Karen show up first? I don't know. Wendy's sister and mom are there. I really, really did not like that sister's hair at all. I was thrown off by that. But what I was more thrown off by, y'all, and I don't feel a way talking about this, because I have seen other people talk about it and have the same type of response and line of questioning that I did. I'm always somebody that tries to not speak negatively or tries to not scrutinize people's children or their parents or anything like that. But again, because I've seen people mention this before, I feel like it is completely justifiable for me to also go in and give my take on it. Wendy's mom, y'all. Wendy's mom, like, looked like that last time. She didn't. And one can only think that some type of potentially skin bleaching may have gone on. Again, these are just observations. This is all alleged. This is not me trying to slander her mom whatsoever. But she looked different. And it is glaringly apparent. So, and again, I don't need to be told that I'm not crazy, because instantly, before I could even fix my fingers to ask this on Twitter or whatever, it's about 500,000 other people mentioned it. So again, you can't really just come on the screen looking different and not expect people to question it, because I don't know. It was yeah, like you said, she's either skin bleaching or vitiligo. I mean, yes, it's very, very noticeable. I hope it's not vitiligo, but right off the bat, I'm not gonna lie, it gave me that it was probably like skin bleaching. But again, this is all just alleged. This is all just observations based on the show. Does not mean that I am speaking from a place that I know that this is exactly facts or anything like that. So just wanted to throw that out there. Karen also rise, followed by Candace. I didn't really like Karen's hat with that. I see what she's going for, but I didn't really like it. But anyway, and I don't know if I mentioned before, they were all supposed to come in yellow, but Wendy let us know that she was coming in white, honey, because she's a mama and that's just what she's going to do. Oh, also, those chicken and waffles look really, really good that they're eating. I need to go eat after this, because now I'm hungry just thinking about it. After that, Wendy addresses the elephant in the room, the elephant being the fact that Candace and Ashley are both in attendance at this little old table and only being separated by Candace's Dior bag. But Candace says that she is always going to be able to be in the same room as Ashley, and Ashley She respects that, and she freaking doubles down on that too. So I think, again, that's really, really good. And that's really honestly the most that you can expect from people that have gone through the things that they have. However, I will say, based on what I've seen on social media as well, that they are actually a little bit even closer, better, even on better terms than even this. That they're maybe building on, should I say, a friendship again? Apparently, word on the street is. So okay, that's totally up to Candace. If I was her, would I be doing the same thing? Potentially, probably not, but we cannot ever tell anybody what they need to do. All I'm going to say is I don't want to hear about it when it goes left again, because I mean, I feel like it's going to. So I just don't want to hear about it. You want to let her back in, you want to allow her in your space or whatever. We've seen what happened the last 5 times. Some personalities just don't click. And I feel like the sooner people realize that, the better a lot of times, because it's like we come together just to fall apart in 3 months. For what though? When you've already proven to be the type of person you are. I wouldn't even really want to be friends with a type of person, even if they didn't do every single thing to me. Just knowing that you're the type of person that will do XYZ things to other people, I don't want no parts of you. That I don't want no parts of you then. But whatever. I digress. Ashley, I don't know. Is Mia coming so I can grab some more drinks in my raincoat? When the mom, she's I can't. Wendy's mom makes me laugh every single time. She made me laugh through this entire thing. Karen also is planning, again, like I said before, to do, I think it's pickleball. She's doing like a pickleball event. Apparently Ray, that's been his jam lately. So he's kind of the reason why that she selected this particular activity for all hands on deck that day. And that's really what we've been waiting for. I feel like episode 4, we still haven't gotten like an all hands event, sit down, meet up. Is kind of like a little weird. I'm not going to say that I've hated the last 3 episodes, but I just feel like based on how Housewives usually we would have saw this like episode 1 and 2. Like, it's kind of late for them to just now all be meeting up. But that is only, again, based on the fact that their group is so fractured right now. Ashley also tries to apologize for adding the extra stank onto the message from Aneka to Wendy. I'm not buying it. I want to see us finally jump into it next week. And Ashley better not be in the bathroom or no stupid stuff like that. I want to see all of what happened before I really, really go in how I want to, because it's a lot. And it's not even just as simple as Ashley said it last week. And we can get into that now. When Aneka and Robyn, they actually have their one-on-one meet up, Aneka then says how she doesn't know Wendy, but she knows of her. So that corroborates. That's okay. They basically both said the same thing. But the only difference is, like I said, when she did meet her the one time or whatever, it was at a concert of which Wendy basically gave her the death stare. And I was like, okay, Wendy didn't say that. So that's one question, right? Okay, that's one thing we need to clear up. And then 2, she goes on to say, for the last few weeks, her family has been very aggressive towards me. And I'm like, okay, so now okay, so now it's family. It's not just you heard from these people about that. Like, it's not just that. It's her family. You okay? So where are we going with this? She says that Wendy's sister Ivy has been contacting Aneka's husband's cousin, which is obviously Aneka's cousin-in-law. Apparently, they're good family friends. We even get this picture. I'm sorry, y'all, I didn't have pictures this week, but we get this picture of Wendy's sister, her husband, Wendy and Eddie, and then the cousin in the middle too. So that's substantiated as well. They know each other. Okay, got it. But where I kind of get off and where I'm kind of like, okay, where are we going with this? What are you trying to say? Is when she goes on to say that apparently Aneka's been using Wendy's name to socialize with the women, basically calling her a clout chaser, saying she needs to get a restraining order on her, whatever. I'm like, okay, that's none of what Wendy said. I feel like that just sounds so crazy to me. All of this sounded crazy to me. And I felt like there was no better person for her to be saying this to than none other than Robyn Dixon, the person who loves to believe a crazy story. Of course you tell Robyn this. Like, she's always in the middle of some crazy, being told some crazy stuff. Clearly. Then a few days later, Wendy's mom calls the cousin-in-law, also sounding super creepy, asking, has she ever prayed with her before or for her, or has she ever prayed against her? Stuff like that. And again, none of this has been said on Wendy's side. So this is all of what we're being heard from this side over here with Aneka. She has a shrine, and I'm just like, that's a lot. Like, that's a lot more to believe. That's like 2-3 more questions now than at that point. So again, we're gonna have to wait until next week to kind of dive deeper into that, but I don't want to believe that. Especially if in the beginning, if we were basing things off of that article or whatever that said that they had, and I actually went back and I read that specific article, and that just sounded like a whole bunch of hoopla, if you ask me. And this also sounds really, really fishy to me as well. And even the way, if that was the case, even if that was true, why wouldn't you say something right off the bat? Or why wouldn't you, just the way that they interacted reads differently. It reads like, yeah, you guys may have met each other again in passing at most, but all these other elements, I just don't see how they fit into that. Because if I knew that somebody's family was coming for me and it had been going down how she says it's been going down, I wouldn't have greeted them the way that I did, and it would have been different. They would have been met with a whole different type of energy. So again, and also the fact that now Ashley has apologized to Wendy on behalf of misrepresenting her words or whatever. Ashley retracted her statement. So now you're over here saying, no. Actually, this is all true. Actually, you're basically saying there is an issue or there is some type of something. So this is why I keep saying to y'all, I feel like she came in with an agenda, or she came in with a plan from the get-go. But y'all, I'm gonna come back in a few with my Married to Medicine in just a few minutes. Just give me a few minutes, y'all. I've run my I've been up here for over an hour. It didn't even feel like that. But I'm gonna come back for that one, y'all. My throat is starting to hurt. Gosh. But I hope you enjoyed this for my episodes 2 and 3. We'll be back to a normal schedule next week. Wait. Actually, Next week I might be a day late with that one too. I just thought of something. And also, unfortunately, we won't be coming to you. Coastal Critics Panel won't be coming with a new episode of Real Housewives of Salt Lake City this week because it is Thanksgiving and we both got some things going on. So unfortunately, we're gonna have to double up next week on that one too, y'all. I'm sorry, but I promise they might be a little late, but I'm going to get them to you. But for now, I hope you enjoyed my commentary on episodes 2 and 3 of The Real Housewives of Potomac. Thank you, Princess. Thank you, Ranting. Thank you, Janet. Shout outs again to everybody who is watching this on the playback. Shout outs to everybody in the bushes. And I will see you guys on my next one. Or if you want to watch Married to Medicine, I will see you over there. All right. Thank you guys. Bye.